Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13, and he has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. I got a little purple on that one. I I'm trying to make myself say dragged or drug it through the purple. No big deal. Okay. Sometimes my words just don't want to, come out. I don't know how I got this much paint on me just squeezing out and pouring out the paints. But that is like every color. Not quite, but so to say that I'm a little sleepy is the understatement of the day. Owen was up around 1-ish and screaming that he was ready to go to his grandma's house. And he was taking no, or he wasn't taking no, we're not going at 1 o'clock in the morning for an answer. And so, yeah, it was a long night. And I'm pretty exhausted. And he's gotten up twice. And then the last time, he ran back to his room, and when he turned the corner, he fell, I guess. Well, not a guess, I know he did. And he said he hurt his knee, but there wasn't any scrape or anything, so I'm sure he hit it, but so I'm praying he's okay, but at least bless his heart. And so now tonight he wants to not only go to church tomorrow, but he wants to now go to grandma's house after church, which I totally understand. So I'm hoping that it works. I'm hoping that he sleeps all night so that we can go to church. I'm hoping that he doesn't scream at me again. It's hard, and last night I was not feeling good. I had a headache. When the weather changes, sometimes I get like sinus, even though it's not technically sinus, it's like pressure. I'll say pressure headaches. And so last night with the weather and everything, my head just kept pounding and pounding and pounding. And so between that and then him screaming, it was hard. It was hard for me to, when you have a headache, screaming is not what you want to hear. And so I was trying to explain to him that mommy doesn't feel good, and the screaming is not helping my headache. Well, he just doesn't comprehend that kind of thing. And no matter, too, at that point, he doesn't want to stop asking for the thing that he wants, which is going to grandma's house, because that's what he's supposed to do on Saturday. So, after several hours of trying to convince him to go back to bed, because we're working on, he's got a clock in his room now. Well, he's had many clocks over the years in his room. This is the first one. It's now in there almost right about 2 weeks, and it hasn't been unplugged or thrown in the trash or like hidden. It's still plugged in, and it's still still doing what it's supposed to be doing. But he's learning how to tell time. I mean, in the general sense, like, and for somebody that doesn't understand time, he like he does understand time, like in the big sense of like days of the week and the month and the year and that type of thing. But hourly and needing to go do something at 2 o'clock in the morning is not something that, like, he gets it, but he doesn't care. Like, when he wants to do something, it doesn't matter what time it is to him. He wants to go do it. So, to say the least, I am praying that we can figure out how to sleep tonight. And we'll see, because I want him to be able to go see his grandma. I want him to be able to go. I want to go to church tomorrow. But if he wakes up again, I mean, I'm still like exhausted from last night. So I am, like I said, going to keep praying that he will rest and that I have some form of brain activity left. But I see, like, there, even though he had a very hard day, like, he screamed at me most of the day after, like, he was calm, then he'd scream, then he'd calm, then he'd scream, then he'd get where he wanted to go he'd scream about going on to church on Sunday so he could go to grandma's and all of that. But I stood trying to explain to him that part of the reason last night with him yelling was so hard was because Mommy had a headache and Mommy didn't feel good. For those of you that are new to my channel, I'm going through breast cancer treatments, and some days my stomach is just, I've had chemotherapy, then I had my surgery, then I had radiation, and now I'm on maintenance infusions. And they don't make me nearly as sick as the chemotherapy did, but I still, my food and just, there are days that just nothing tastes right, nothing settles right, and I'm just, it just is not, you just don't feel like yourself, So I tried to explain to him that when he doesn't feel good, he, goes to the doctor, and his doctor gives him medicine, and a lot of times he doesn't feel like doing anything. He wants to just sit on the couch with Mommy, and that's how Mommy is feeling, and I didn't feel like I was wanting to do anything. And so when he started listening to me, it felt like growth at that point, because he then started asking me questions and trying to kind of express some more emotions. And a lot of times, like, when I'm trying to get him distracted or focused on something, I will rapid fire questions with him, knowing that he's not going to be able to answer a lot of them. That's just, he doesn't process it like that. But that way it kind of redirects him in some of those moments. And so when I was talking to him about not feeling good and just it being hard, and me needing him to like kind of understand that I get that he doesn't want to be asleep, but he also has to learn to respect others. And he screams during the day, like at different people, like when we'll go to his therapy or something like that, he will scream. Now he's really good for his teacher. He doesn't, she said, like, I'm sure he has occasionally, but she says he's not one of, one to scream or to do those type of things. So, and you, as a parent, your children always react to you differently than they do to other human beings. So, and we have tons of like advisors and therapists and a counselor, and we have a behavioral specialist, and we go here and here and here and here and here, and we do lots of different activities trying to work through these emotions and different things. And so when I talk to them, I feel better about it because he's got so many reactionary moments, and he cannot be distracted or redirected. He's getting better about it, but when he needs to focus on something, literally focus on it, trying to redirect him is like moving a freight train all by yourself without turning it on. You can't. And I knew this early on when he was a baby, well, toddler. He would watch these videos, and he would go through and do the same exact emotions and the same exact, like, watching the same video over and over and over and over and over, and do the same sounds, same crying sounds, and it would be 30 minutes, 2 hours, it didn't matter. And so one day, like, okay, I'm going to distract him, I'm going to get him, doing something else. And we went through many different things, about 2 hours away from his tablets. And as soon as I let him have his tablet again, he went right back to the exact same video, exact same moment, and had to complete the process of what he was doing. So, it's one of those things that I'm learning, he's learning, we're growing, and hopefully tonight's the night we sleep. So, I've done some extra little dots here and there, but I think I'm about there. I keep looking, and I like little tops of something right there. But so I'm gonna sign O for Owen, and hopefully my video didn't cut out today. L and B. I got a new phone, and it's already as full, like it's not even a month old, 2 months old, I don't know. And it's already full. I don't know how this is possible. So we'll have to see. But thank you all for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.